this is going to be, in my opinion, a pretty interesting run. We're not loading game, but we're going to continue without saving. So this is a tag team 3D adventure game made by Behavior Interactive and published by Midway. And it's not anything special, but it pays good to the TV show. So as you can see, we are playing as the three Eds, and throughout the run we do use all of their abilities.
Did you start the run, by the way?
Oh wait, did we start?
It looks like you're going already. Sorry.
Are we going?
Yeah. We can start anytime.
Okay. I'll restart.
Sounds good. Sorry, I didn't know if you're going already.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was my fault.
That's okay. No worries.
Can the stream hear me right now?
Yes, it can.
Okay. So we're gonna restart. I'll count down.
Sounds good. Can I just read a quick donation real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we actually have a $24 donation from Mr. Holmes 221B. My girl beat that level. Go Muncha. That's it.
Also, Shasta, are we going to be doing big head mode during the run?
Unfortunately, no one donated for it, so as much as I'd like to see that, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, welcome to The Misadventures. As I said earlier, it's a 3D tag team adventure game of Ed, and Eddy. It's a licensed game, so it's not really anything special, but the speedrun is filled with lots of glitches that I'll explain later on. And I played this game a lot as a kid, and I'm actually surprised I even beat it, due to the amount of like silly things that can happen. Bugs, unexpected bugs and such. So for this first scam, we have to get 5 ice cubes to make snow cones, and we have to do various things to do that. Like throwing a cat at a dog. So yeah, we do use all of the Eds in the game. They all have their own little place. We used an Ed for the Batter Ed. It's a very OP move, probably a lot more OP than it should be. And without it, this game wouldn't be that much interesting. Basically, it allows you to move very fast, and you cannot take damage at all. And there's no cooldown, there's no time limit, it can go on forever. So in total there's 6 scams in the entire game, and almost all of them are based off of the television show, so if you've seen the show yourself, you should be pretty familiar with it. So in order to enter Jimmy and Sarah's house to get an ice cube from their fridge, we have to throw squirrels at the window to get them, to chase them out. And in total we have to throw 3 squirrels, and this part is RNG, so it's kind of disappointing whenever you don't get good RNG. Unfortunately, almost all of the RNG in this game is in Scam 1, so if you get a bad Scam 1, you can easily reset and not have to worry about it. So now, we're moving on to Rolf. We have to put his pigs back in the pen so we can use his meatball machine to make snow cones. And yes, it's a meatball machine. Alright, first pig in. Gonna get second pig. The community calls this pig Wilfred, because it can sometimes run closer away to the pen. And this section, like I said, is RNG, but in other versions of the game, such as like PS2 and PC, the RNG is pretty bad, and you can lose runs to it. So that was Scam 1. We got our 5 ice cubes, and we're now 6% through the game. So Scam 2 is going to be a little bit different from Scam 1. We have to go to Jimmy and Sarah's birthday party, and Rolf will not let us in, so we have to go into sewers to get into their backyard so we can go party with the other kids. And batter Edding, like I said, is very, very fast.
It's terribly risky
and we use it pretty much every single time we can. There's only a few segments in the game that we don't batter Ed. Oh, that was weird. Alright, we have to kill this gator, and now we're doing a skip called Bridge Skip. We have to like turn a lever and other stuff, like very slow stuff, so we can easily skip it just by trampolining. You're not intended to do that, even though it's an ability in the game. So we have to kill off this alligator so we can access the gate.
This should work.
And Double D is the one who activates all the switches and stuff. And he's also used for combat most of the time. But the most unfortunate thing about that is he's not very good at combat. He can actually get hit pretty easily compared to the other Eds. Alright, so now we do another trampoline to activate this wheel so we can get to the final part of the first part of Scam 2.
This should work.
So coming up, we're going to have a meetup with Johnny, and he holds a wheel to open the last door, and he will not give it to us. So we have to forcibly take away Plank from him so he can leave the wheel unguarded. And there's actually a clip that you can do here that saves about like maybe 30 seconds or so, depending on how fast you can get it. And I'm not doing it in this run due to marathon safety. It's actually very inconsistent.
Intriguing.
And I've lost many runs to that clip. For some reason, out of all the clips in the game, it's very inconsistent. And on the topic of clipping, there's lots and lots and lots of clipping in this game. There's two types of clips we can do. We can do a batter it clip, which is where we batter it into a wall at a very specific angle, holding a direction on the control stick. And we can clip out one of the Eds into out of bounds. And the other kind is first-person clipping, which is the clip that I would normally do right here.
This should work.
Basically, you get behind Ed with double D, and you spam first person as fast as you can. And if you do it correctly, and if the game is fortunate to let you by, you can clip Ed through the wall. So now we're finally in the backyard, and now we have to break 3 piñatas. And also a funny story, I was streaming one time, and for some reason I broke 2 of the piñatas, and it said I got 3 piñatas broken. So I have no idea how it happened or how we can manipulate it. I didn't do anything special, but it's a pretty intriguing thing that happened. So now this part is kind of annoying. The Kanker sisters have found out about our party, and now we have to play chase with them. So we have to do 2 things in this. We have to shoot Marie with our little slingshot, as well as prevent the other Kanker sisters, Mary and Lee, from kissing us. And if you're not careful, you can die here, and it will take a little bit to restart. Alright, there's 3 sections, and we completed Scam 2. So if you haven't guessed already, this is a pretty fast-paced game. And now we're moving on to Scam 3, which is a little bit longer than the 2. And for this one, there's 2 parts, and I will go into detail as I come across them. And we're battering our way over to Scam 3. And also, one of the weird things about this game, once you hit a dialogue box for yes or no, it will default in the cul-de-sac to no to entering a level. And when you're fighting a mini-boss, it will default to yes when it asks you to fight it again. Which in my opinion makes no sense, and I've actually had that happen to me a few times. So now, we have to get to the candy store before it closes. If you're a fan of Ed and Eddy, I'm sure you remember this episode. And we have to do a few things in this game. So first we have to throw Jimmy's dolls that are stuck in the tree in the sandbox. And once we do that, Sarah and Jimmy will move out of the way, and then we can proceed. There's actually a first-person clip you can do that actually saves a lot of time, but it's far more consistent than Scam 2, to the point where I don't even do it in runs, because it's so inconsistent. So now I'll be able to show off a Battered clip, the first in the run. I found this clip in the exact spot back when it was only me and SpongeCube running this game. The community has grown a lot since then. Basically line up straight, hold left on the control stick during the Battered, and now Eddy is clipped to the wall. Isn't that pretty neat? So now we have to do a combat section with Double D. It's pretty simple. It's time consuming and it's a little bit boring. I've tried to find a way to skip it, but everything I've tried so far is very unsuccessful. And also, while we're doing this, I want to give a shout out to the Misadventures community for being awesome. Together, we have found many skips and glitches that turned this practically glitchless game into a glitch-filled adventure in a very short period of time. So shout out to you guys are awesome. So now we're moving on to Kevin, the Kevin Can game. And this used to be a really annoying part of the run, but fortunately, there was a skip that was found. And to do this, we have to clip Double D into the wall here. Clip him through this first wall, get out of bounds. And then we use Ed and clip him out once more. And we can just skip the entire thing. Man, that level, that part, it just caused so much trouble, and I'm glad we could finally skip it. And we don't need the other Eds for this section, so we can just go as solo as Double D.
My.
And they won't fall out of bounds or anything, so we're safe. And now we're entering part 2 of Scam 3, where Eddy eats a jawbreaker filled with foot powder, and he looks hideous. So hideous, in fact, that he must rush home very quickly, and without anyone seeing him. Some people have called this a Metal Gear Solid ripoff. I'll leave that up to you to decide, but I don't know. So here we're just avoiding the other characters are actually pretty easy. Just stay out of their line of sight and you'll be fine. And we're just waiting here for Johnny to turn around. We're gonna snipe the school bell to get Naz out of the way, because we don't want her seeing us. Even though the Eds love Naz, she cannot see us when we're hideous. For some reason, the camera likes to turn around like there, and it's kind of hard to go through that little hole in the tree to progress. So I have to stop the battle right there in case I bonk. And speaking of bonking, if you hit anything with like the batter head, like a wall and stuff, it will cost you a few seconds to recover.
Stupid animals. Think they're so cute.
Alright. And we're just approaching the end of Scam 3, guys. And we have to batter it into a wall to get as close as possible. We're going around Sarah, who fortunately does not have very good eyesight. And for this, we have to go around Kevin at a very specific point so he cannot see us. We're now 20% through the game. Isn't that awesome? So that was a pretty easy scam, and now Scam 4 is where things begin to get pretty interesting glitch-wise. We do clips, we do AI manipulation, so if you like that kind of stuff, you're not going to want to miss it. And this scam is also my personal favorite, just to do like the atmosphere and everything. And you do a lot of Ed switching in this as well, so it gives you good practice for that. So for this, we want to become Urban Rangers. And to do that, we must do this obstacle course. Alright, we're going to snipe this platform while we wait for the can to respawn. Eliminate the enemies here. And now we're using Tower of Eddy to go up and go across this platform. You cannot go across platforms normally. If you try to do so, the Eds will refuse to come to you. So you have to go as Tower of Eddy. You don't have a choice. Alright, we got our platform down. We got to get one more floorboard down. And then we can do a clip. The first of many glitches and exploits in this run. In this scam, rather, also. So we align ourselves with first person, we hold right, and now Double D is through the gate. And this skips having to press a switch and batter at your way to and from. And it's a pretty neat time saver. I found that clip, and it's probably one of the easiest clips in the entire run. And also, here's a pretty interesting thing coming up. It's our very first first-person clip.
Intriguing.
And we're going to be sending Ed through the gate without doing a minigame. So this minigame here, you have to play whack-a-mole with Jimmy, but if I do this, see if I can actually get it. Sometimes this does not want to cooperate. Let's see if I can do it. Did I get him in? Yes, I did. He's through the gate. Oh yeah. I got that pretty quickly, too. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't usually get that quite quickly. So now we have to summon the Eds over, so we can go as Tower of Eddy. And also, another thing, summoning Eds is also very important when you clip out of bounds, because it allows you to place the Eds in your position. So if you go out of bounds with one, you can bring every single Ed over. Oh, I got stuck on something. Alright, watch this. If I can do it correctly. If not, I'm going to make a fool out of myself. Oh no, not quite. Alright, so this skip is called Garbage Skip, and I found this one on accident. And also shoutouts to Valvin for finding the setup for this. If I can actually do this setup correctly, I can get this first try. Oh no. Ed got way too close to the gate. This trick is very specific, and it can cost time if you don't get it first try. Let's try it from here. And he's over the gate.
In your dreams.
We did it. And now we summon the Ed's over. This scam is pretty broken. But not as broken as the next one, where we practically skip 5 minutes of in-game time. So stay tuned for that. So now we're fighting Victor. We got one cycle Victor. Oh yeah. That doesn't happen too often. Victor can be placed at random points. And you can either get 3 cycle, 2 cycle, or 1 cycle, with 1 cycle being the most rare. So that's pretty awesome. And also, if you guys want to read donations or anything, this part's pretty boring, so feel free to do so.
Perfect then, I have a few to read. Alright, so we have $10 from Mildew. Here's to hoping Spire Egg is nice to you. Also Glook or something like that.
Thank you, Mildew.
Right,
Mildew's also a winner. This game.
We also have $10 from Mr_Squirrel. Good luck, Kona. Seems good. Then we have $5 from Azoka Loco. Even though we probably won't get to Big Head mode, here's some money for good cause. Go, Kona. And
Thanks, guys.
Then we have $5.31 for Desolation. Let's make this even,
In your
Kappa.
dreams.
So now we're at $3,500 even.
Alright, so
you.
I'm sorry, go on.
No, back to you.
Okay, so now we're just finishing up Scan 4. Like I said, that was very boring. And if you fall off the track during any point in that race, you have to do the entire thing over again, and you might as well just reset at that point. So now, Scam 5. I'm going to go for the very fast skip, which takes about 10 seconds. And if I don't get it first try, which is likely, I'll do the other method, which in my opinion is a bit more useful. Whoops. For some reason, yeah, like I said earlier, those dialog boxes default to no. Let me just do this real quick. Alright, I didn't get it too fast, so I'm gonna go for the other method. Also, shoutouts to Pear Strike for Hubba Hubba. Alright, let's do this. So this was a skip found by Perilous Peanuts, myself, and that kid Mildew. And we have to do a batter Ed into a very specific point in the wall. And if we do it correctly, we can get Eddy out of bounds. If I can do it properly. This angle is actually pretty specific. So now Eddy is out of bounds, and we're on top of the ceiling of another room. So for this, we have to go very slowly while jumping. We don't want the Eds to lose sight of us. And if we do this correctly... wait for it. Oh no, I didn't do it correctly. Oh man, what was that? Alright, so the main point behind that trick is we go underground and we go to a very certain spot to get the other Eds positioned in just the right spot to operate on the saw, which is the main objective of this game. Because normally you have to go on a fetch quest and gather objects for the Kanker Sisters. Ah man, marathon luck.
You know, I know this is a glitch, but I feel like this could happen in the show.
Yeah, totally. You know, I'm not even being sarcastic. I think it could happen because they had some pretty weird episodes at times. Alright, I'm gonna make sure. I think they're in the right spot, so can we do it? And we did it! He's operating on the saw. And like I said, that skips about 5 minutes of content, which is boring, slow, and dangerous to the run. And also, again, shoutouts to Mildew, myself, and Perilous Peanut. So now we're moving on to the final scam of the game, which is also the longest, unfortunately. Whoops. I did it again, guys. So for this one, the Kankers take our Jawbreakers, and we have to go get them back by fetching maps and such.
My Jawbreaker!
And the community has tried to find ways to skip the scam, or parts of it. But so far we've not been successful. So here we're going to do a first-person clip by placing Eddy on top of Ed, and then using double D and doing a first-person clip through the wall. This can be kind of inconsistent, so let's see if I can actually get it. Because earlier in practice, I wasn't doing that good. Alright, can he go in the wall, or do I have to reposition him? Come on, Ed. Don't let me down. Alright, you let me down. I'm gonna reseat you. I'll go for this one more time, and then I have a backup strat I can do. Let's see here. Oh no. This is a pretty complicated skip, or clip rather. And this skip's having to like collect various power cells to actually open the gate itself. Oh, come on, Ed. You're just messing around in space and time. Alright, I'm gonna go for the other way, because right now, Marathon luck is not on my side. So for the alternate strat, we have to break down this gate, defeat the dog right here, and we send Double D over the fence, and then we can actually do this game. Alright, defeating all the enemies. Because if you get hit by an enemy while operating on something, you have to restart the operation process, which can be time-consuming. Alright, so for this, we get Ed placed here. We get Double D like this, and we do first person into him. But this is not a first person clip, surprisingly. We have to get him just enough into the wall so we can do a batter end clip and send Double D through the wall. Alright, we're inside the wall now.
Oops, vibrate, stop.
And now they come back over here.
Oops, vibrate,
And we can progress. It's a pretty neat skip in my opinion. Again, shout outs to the community. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, I gotta be careful. So you know what? I'm actually not gonna do that. There's actually a little mini skip I can do here, where I grab the map piece while the fence is still on. But that can actually be risky to your health. And if you die in this scam, you risk having to do the entire thing over again. And it depends on how well the game likes you, because it seems random at times. Okay, let's send Double D on the fence, if this works correctly. And using this glitch, which is specific to console and not PC, we can actually bring the Eds over and skip having to operate on a Switch. And also, speaking of versions, this game was released on GameCube, PS2, Xbox, and PC, with PC being the fastest version. And the reason I'm not running it in this marathon, because it has quite a few issues that I would not want to risk happening, which includes potentially ruining your windows in some way, which has happened to quite a few people, unfortunately, including myself. Why? I have no idea. It's just a bad port, I guess. But it is faster. The load times are pretty short, and it stays over a minute over GameCube. So now we're up to Spider Egg, probably the worst part of the entire game that everyone hates. So we have to go give a Spider Egg to Jimmy instead of a Jawbreaker. Jimmy wants a Jawbreaker to give us the map piece, but we can't give him that because we don't have any. So we're doing Spider Egg, and I'm doing a safe strat right now where we have to knock down all the pillars and defeat all the enemies beforehand. Alright, I killed myself there so I can go back to spawn. And now we tower Eddy through this. So this part is bad because of the horrible mud physics. I don't know what the developers were thinking when they were making this, but the mud is horrible. It sends the Eds flying in random directions, and it's really unpredictable. Looks like those guys over there are excited for Spider Egg. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that's in the tire swing. Hitboxes are huge, a lot bigger than the actual tire itself, and it's pretty horrible. Alright, let's go. Oh, and here we have enemies, but we can defeat them pretty easily. So that was first part of the Spider Egg. If you die on the way back, you'll actually spawn back here, which is convenient. And now, we just have to go back to Jimmy. Alright. Oh no! I dropped the Spider Egg. Dang it. If you want to read a quick donation, feel free to do so.
Will do. We have one donation right here. We got $35.35 from Papa Fog. Now we have repeating numbers. Open mouth smiley face. Our donation total is $3,535.35, or $3,535.35.
Thank you, dude.
Back to you.
Okay, so now we're delivering our spider egg to Jimmy, who runs away after seeing the spiders. And now we're going to do a skip found by Toolful31 that allows us to skip the entire obstacle course, which is pretty annoying. It's a really annoying obstacle course, and this skip makes it, like, really easy. You just go up here, you defeat the rat, you break down this floorboard, and then you move on to victory. And now we're going to our final Victor battle, which is the final battle with Victor. Not the final boss, but the final Victor battle. And again, this is a copy and paste. We have to send him into the water by batter-etting into him multiple times. It's very easy to not mess this up. You just spam batter-et over and over again, and you will win. And if for some reason this dialog box defaults to yes if you want to rematch him, so you gotta be very careful about that. And now we're underground in the Kanker's lair, and they're chasing us, and we have to get away from them really quickly.
This should work.
And we bring Double D in here so they don't get lost. They can actually get lost kind of easily in here, which is kind of funny considering it's a very small space. So now we're entering the dog room, which is filled with dogs. We have to eliminate them all. It's very annoying at times.
Intriguing.
But it's, like again, this game gets easier towards the end. But if you're not careful, you can die here. So just make sure you batter-ing all the time and you'll be fine. So after this, we're about to go to the final boss, which is the Kanker sisters.
This should
The
work.
final battle. If you've seen the TV show as a kid, this is what you dreamed of.
This should work.
An epic battle between the Kankers and the Eds.
In your dreams.
Oh, let me summon the Eds real quick. And we have another tire swing to avoid. So at the end of this hallway, we will fight to the death.
This should work.
Get hype in chat, guys. It's about to happen. And funny little story. It's possible to crash your game at the beginning of this game if you're not careful. Fortunately, I've never had it happen to me, but to SpongeCube and others who run on GameCube, it's possible it can crash. So you gotta be very careful and wait till the smoke comes down. When you initially enter, there will be smoke around you from your previous batter-ed, and if you move around too quickly while the smoke's on the screen. Alright, we're doing flamingo strats, boys. Oh yeah, they're hype for flamingos. And this battle is just pretty much run to the pillars and you win. Again, not really a real fight, but rather do stuff while the Kankers are kissing you from a very fixed distance. So I kind of go to the right and then swerve to the left. I find this method. Wow. Alright. We're at the final pillar, guys. The run's about to be over. Overall, this went a lot better than I expected it to be. There was a lot of stuff that could have gone wrong. But overall, it was a fun run. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. That is the end of the game. I'm Konasumi. Follow me on Twitter at KonasumiTV and Twitch at twitch.tv/Konasumi. Again, shout outs to all the Ed community members for being awesome people. Hope you all enjoyed the run. And yeah, that's it for me, guys.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, 2741, by the way.
Dang, that's a really good time for GameCube.
Sweet. Good stuff.
Let's get this party started!
And that's it.
Is this game canon?
Yes, it is. 100% canon. Even though it is rushed and licensed. Alright, so am I good to... Am I still on?